like to give you other speakers notice that I have begun to speak, so you can wrap up your meetings now. Hyde Park Speaker's Corner has been invaded by religious nutcases and maniacs and foreigners and haters and black radicals.
And by that token, our society has yet to come of age, has yet to be able to take responsibility for children. Like as yet to come of age. Now, socialism or communism, it means the same thing. When we recognise who we are, when we recognise the golden rule of responsibility, only then will our society come of age.
Japanese man, yeah.
Speaker's Corner was a creation of social protest movements. And in 1866 there was a big protest movement here, the famous Reform League riots. The Reform League was a movement to establish the right to vote for men, working men. And very closely combined with that was the concept about the right to use Hyde Park. The police tried to stop people entering the park. There was a big battle. People took the fences off and used the fences as weapons against the police, and which eventually resulted in concessions being given.
I've been coming to Speaker's Corner since the early 80s. It's a kind of an evolution that I've been speaking on. I started coming here as a Protestant Christian with the message of the gospel and judgment and Jesus as Saviour. And then over the years it's evolved away from that as I turned away from my Christian beliefs and moved on into a greater spiritual perception of life.
Everybody's talking.
Why don't you get the message that your race has been conditioned by religion to a point?
We're all bloody conditioned by religion.
No, take responsibility for your race. Look, you're quick to use the Irish blarney when it suits you. Take responsibility for the Irish personality. And the Irish personality has been ruined by religion. Acknowledge it.
The Irish
Be mature enough to acknowledge it.
Yeah, but the Irish are all right. It's just that there's too many of them. Otherwise they're okay.
Typical Irish blarney, which means nothing. And it's offensive in England, actually.
Can I sing a song for you? If you were the only girl in the world and I was the only boy.
Look at the mentality of people who think that's funny.
The people's flag is people's red, it's shrouded off the mass of dead. And Netherlands grew stiff and cold, their heart's blood died in every fold. Then raised the scarlet standard high, beneath its foes we'll live and die. Though cowards flinch and traitors sneer, we'll keep the red flag flying here.
I've been speaking to Speaker's Corner for 20 years this December. I'm a Marxist. I try and engage, I try and have a debate, a discussion.
225 people own more wealth than half of the population in the world. Due to the economic disparities on a world scale created by British imperialism in the first place. And the descendants of British imperialism, United States imperialism. Karl Marx said in the Communist Manifesto, capitalism breaks down all Chinese walls and makes people confronted by their real situation. But people don't like to be confronted by the real situation. They don't like to think, I'm a worker like the black worker. I'm a worker like the Indian worker. I'm a worker like the Polish worker. They like to think, I've got something that makes me better than them. What is it? They're all those white women, page 3, that's true.
What did it say? What did it say in the Sun?
The scientists have now proved that the first humans came from Europe.
Whereabouts? England?
No, why are you against Europe then?
Eastern Europe?
I never said I was against Europe.
No, but you're the master race then.
Well, after Leakey has proven with Lucy that the first man came from, first woman came from the Rift Valley of Africa. That means we all came from Africa.
That the first person didn't come from Africa.
How do you remember how old roughly these remains of human beings in Eastern Europe are?
No, I didn't.
No, because it's not true. Why don't you go on the internet internet and have a look. Check out your argument.
Have you got electric? I will quite happily go on the internet, and if you quite happily want me to, I will even send you the information.
You do that.
Immigrants, the Jamaicans that came over to work the buses, work London Underground, they were what, hard workers. But the British workers before them were hard workers. But their wages were brought down to a situation where they're being forced. Capitalism's exploiting the people.
Oh, so you're anti-capitalist?
Yes, I am.
Right, so what kind of economic system does the National Front
Similar to that which was practiced in Germany under the National Socialists.
Really?
Yeah.
People stop and stare. I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes. I'm going where the sun...
I explain what it is to be human. Now, the vast majority of people on this planet have been conditioned to think, conditioned to believe that they're ordinary. So therefore, who you believe yourself to be determines what you want. That all they want is an ordinary life. And they allow the extraordinary people, the politicians, the leaders, the corporates, the academics, the clerics, people with power, influence, they allow those people to interpret their lives for them, to tell them what to wear, what to eat, how to think, and who to be. Well, I'm challenging that. From each according to ability, to each according to need. Is that preaching or is that explaining?
Goods coming in, goods going out. Petrol go out, petrol coming in.
Turn white man against black man.
I've been coming to this pit park now about 19 years, 18, 19 years. Came here as a black power activist to chant down Whitey and gain some rights for the black man. And that was the original sort of mandate. As time has gone by, then the speech has obviously developed and grown. It's become more international and encompassing and inclusive and all of those things. I've been arrested quite a few times in this park here, especially in the early days when you used to swear. I used to be arrested quite frequently and went to court quite frequently and won every case frequently, so that's a good thing. But it could have gone against me and I could have a criminal conviction for simply using the word fuck.
So we have every motherfucker represented today. What's wrong with using the word?
There are kids in the park, Ishmael. Why
Then take them out of the fucking park! You know what I speak like! I believe in free speech.
So do I.
Exercising free speech means I have the right to use whatever language I like. If you are offended by my language, please fuck off. My friend, the word fuck is English. I came from Africa and knew nothing about the word fuck. When I arrived in England, the immigration officer stamped in my passport, fucking black bastard. I thought, what a beautiful word. The word fuck, my friend. If I say this, that, and you, it means nothing. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, has some substance. But my friend, of course I have children, but I'm not so fucking puritanical to teach them that words hurt you. It's not the words that are the fucking actions, it's the deeds. I wouldn't mind so much if Israelis were swearing at Palestinians, or Palestinians swearing at Israelis, you fucking Jewish bastard, or you fucking Palestinian suicide bomber, as long as it stayed there. But the reality is it's not the language that's doing this destruction, it is man's actions. If you have a problem with the word fuck, my friend, I suggest you get counseling.
When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this.
I've been coming to Speaker's Corner for the past 2 years and on and off for the past 6 years. I'm a convert to Islam. I kind of came here to go and see all different sides of the story and see it from the people's mouths rather than get a prejudiced opinion from books or TV. I talk about political issues, mainly issues like war and terror, Islamophobia, what political Islam really means, because people are very scared by a very skewed portrayal of it in the media.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is in the metro last Friday. 100 pages. Your British passport now has a computer chip. I do know that the UK and the US uses chips similar to the one implanted in dogs and cats. Bring up the UK.
People should come to Speaker's Corner to get a life, to find out about the way the world is, you know, really, because you can wander around here and no matter what point of view you've got, you'll find somebody who's got something quite similar to your point of view.
I'd say this is a beautiful spot, a beautiful place to come expand your knowledge of the world and to share some of your knowledge with the world. It's a beautiful, brilliant space. In fact, I come here every single Sunday when I'm here. It's my church, it's my office, it's my respite. It's a place where I can come and chill out, relax and kick back and then get back to the grind of life on a Monday.
But I think Speaker's Corner, people should come down here to actually see what's really going on. See, and you meet people from all different cultures, backgrounds and religions, and it's excellent to actually get a true view of the world without traveling. It's kind of like a cost-effective way of seeing the world.
I would recommend Speaker's Corner because the world passes by, for one thing, and because it challenges people to go beyond where they are already.
And Mr. Bush has come out from the bush. He has shaved all his
A morning suit can be avoided if you take a route straight through what is known as.
Do you think that a writer or a filmmaker should be killed because he insulted Islam?
All I'll say is that I think that he should have been censored for what he said and reprimanded in some way, shape or form. Yeah, for doing something to the deliberate insult, like the cartoons. Well, Islam's all up for discussion and debate and so on, but why put the Prophet Muhammad with a bomb on his turban? Why? Is that debate? Is that discussion? Yeah, how is that a dialogue? You know, it wasn't, even the cartoon itself looks like it was not for dialogue. Yeah, and in fact, the cartoon was going to come out insulting Jesus, but that was rejected by that same magazine, the newspaper that made the one about the Prophet.
Do you think it's a good thing to do, to kill or to threat to kill?
Well, I'll put it like this. If Salman Rushdie or the cartoonist or the Pope or whoever was in front of me right now, I'd order 2 teas from Edgware Road, sit down, drink a bit, give him some baklava perhaps, and discuss with him the cause of his issues. Yeah, and I'll try to kill his argument.
Not him.
Not him. All right, so that's how I deal with it, and that's the Islamic way.
On YouTube, the mosque in Denmark Let me answer your question.
This Jesus that we are singing about, ladies and gentlemen, he's wonderful. You can experience the warmth of his love, his acceptance, his presence. Jesus accepts us.
It's not the movie I wanted to watch. It's not the porno that I was hoping. God doesn't give me what I need. Yet we don't even know what we need. We live in a world and it's falling apart because all we do is say, God, if you're really real, give me a woman, give me a man, give me. Yet we reject what God has already given us in Jesus Christ. Find out. I beg you, find out. You need God's love more than you need the love of your father and your brother, although it's great, I can tell.
Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah.
My Jesus is
alive, alive, alive forevermore. My Jesus is alive, my Jesus is alive, 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 alive forevermore. My Jesus is alive.
Hallelujah,
hallelujah, hallelujah. My Jesus is alive forevermore. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. My Jesus is alive. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. My Jesus is alive forevermore.
Are there any questions?
Why don't you like Tony Blair?
Why don't I like Tony Blair? Because Tony Blair
a million reasons, but the main reason I don't like Tony Blair and don't like his pretty tame is he is a war criminal. He took us to war. Every time, as soon as I saw 7/7, those bombs that went off in London, why did it happen? Well, I know why it happened, because when I saw that, it was an echo of when I saw shock and awe on the television.
I speak about various, what I speak about is from politics to economics to science to health, across the range, you know, a bit of everything.
What inspired you to speak?
To sort of justify my existence. I advise everybody to publicly speak. It's good for your sense of self-esteem, you know, and your confidence, and for verbal communication. You improve your communication skills verbally, because speaking, communicating well through language, speaking is the best way, quickest way of communicating. If we can all communicate clearly and honestly, then we can understand one another quicker. There's less disputes. You know? If what I say makes sense, then it will spread eventually. If it hasn't, it won't, and I'll accept that. You know?
You might have taken fucking Iraq, but our Arab brothers have taken Edgware Road. They've moved on to Queensway. Our Asian brothers have taken Southall.
That's true.
The black brothers have taken Brixton. Africans Peckham. We have got this fucking place surrounded. Next year, me in Buckingham Palace.
And finally, if Speaker's Corner was shut down tomorrow, what would you do with your families?
Blasphemy. Go out and rob white people, burgle their homes and do whatever I can, do you know what I'm saying, to sort of like claim back what white people have stolen from the black man, the Nubian, the Asiatic African.
If Speaker's Corner wasn't here, I'd probably start one. And then probably get arrested by the police for being a terrorist or something like this.
If Speaker's Corner was shut down, I would do what I've done in times past when I didn't come here. I love the open air. I love being outside, and so I'm sure that there would be plenty I could do.
Oh, I'd be lost. Speaker's Corner is my world.
Que el imperialismo sepa que estamos dispuestos a afrontar los riesgos